So what do you think is the worst thing that Trump has done in the last 2 years? Is it the move toward authoritarianism? We had a conversation about it today. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, and subscribe to the channel. I see that, Robert Reich, for example, just tweeted important. He said, this is a truly staggering fact. Wall Street bonuses totaled $27 billion, $27.5 billion last year. Now, here's the kicker. This is the truly amazing thing about this. This is just the bonuses, by the way. This is not the pay. And this is just on Wall Street. Wall Street bonuses totaled $27 billion. That's $1 million 27,000 times. $27 billion, which is more than 3 times the combined annual income of all American workers earning the minimum wage, who are employed full-time. If you take everybody in the United States who is working full-time at the minimum wage, all those people, all of their income, that total income of everybody in the United States, from Washington State to Florida, from Maine to Southern California, everybody in the United States working a minimum wage, if you take all of their income together and triple it, you have the amount of money that Wall Street gave to some of its employees in the form of bonuses last year. That's mind-boggling. And it's also the result of 40 years of Reaganomics, but it's also the result of the Trump tax scam. I mean, basically, this is the economy that has been created by neoliberal policy starting in the 1980s that we have not turned back from. We're still in the Reagan era. We have not had an FDR Democrat as president since Lyndon Johnson, frankly. And this is, and we haven't had progressive Democratic control of the House or Senate basically since Lyndon Johnson's era, and maybe, I think you could argue since Jimmy Carter anyway. And maybe I should say, I think Jimmy Carter was as good a president as LBJ. But in any case, it ain't been happening since the 90s. But now Donald Trump has not only put that on steroids, not only just doubled down on a terrible economic structure, essentially, but he's also doing all this other stuff. I mean, it seems to, and my question for you this hour is, what do you think the worst thing is that Donald Trump has done in the last 2 years? What is it? Is it putting children in cages? I mean, that's pretty bad, right? There's a federal judge this morning, or yesterday, I read the news this morning, a federal judge yesterday came out and said to the Department of Justice, the 2 years that you want to reunite children, sorry, you can do it a whole hell of a lot faster than that. These are children, I mean, these are children who are being tortured by our government. And if you don't think it's torture, just imagine if you're a parent, or even if you're not, if you've I mean, we were all kids once. Having your child taken away from you and placed with strangers for a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, when that child is like 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 years old. We're talking serious, long-term damage, both to the children and to the parents and to our society. So is that the worst thing Donald Trump has done? Is it the shift toward authoritarianism? Is the worst thing that Donald Trump has done calling the news media the enemy of the people, to reviving Joseph Stalin's phrase? Is that the worst thing he's done? Is the worst thing he's done telling Americans that he was going to give them a health insurance program that was better than Obamacare, that was cheaper than Obamacare, and that covered everybody? He said, don't worry, I'm going to take care of this. Was that lie the worst thing he's done? Was the worst thing he's done putting an oil lobbyist in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency and then gutting it? Was the worst thing he's done putting Mick Mulvaney, a hustler, a cokehead hustler, in charge of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and then gutting that? Is the worst thing he did putting Ryan Zinke in charge of Interior, and now he's replaced him with a coal lobbyist? Is the worst thing that Donald Trump has done gutting the science panels and science components of everything from the EPA to NOAA to the President's Advisory Committee on Science. He's gutted all of them. We don't need no stinking scientists. We know the world's only 6,000 years old. We know that carbon dioxide is food for plants. Come on, we don't need no stinking scientists. What, in your opinion, is the worst part of the Trump presidency?